So you want to learn Blockbench? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm a Blockbench artist, and in this series, I'm going to teach you how to become one too. We'll work on 3 different projects together, from a simple kiwi to, well, you'll have to find out.
Welcome to part 3, animating the kiwi. Last episode, which you can find here in the top right, we textured this kiwi. Today, we'll be giving the kiwi 3 basic animations: a running animation, a sniffing animation, and a jumping animation. Let's begin. In the top right of the screen, you'll see 3 models: Edit, Paint, and Animate. Today, we'll click on Animate. This will bring you to a new screen with new UI. On the left, we have the Animation Select screen, where you can create, manage, and select your animations. In the middle is your workspace, where you can actually animate your models. At the bottom of the screen is your timeline space, where you can directly edit your animations, and on the right, you can see all the different movable parts of your model. Let's add an animation. Click the Add Animation button in the top left. This will bring you to this UI. We'll have a look at some of these settings later, but for the moment, all we'll do is give our first animation a name. Let's call it Kiwi Moving Animation, and click Confirm. Great! Let's begin animating. Let's select the first cube we want to move, but you cannot animate this type of element. Let's fix that. What we're going to do is organize the cubes into groups. This is useful in 3 main ways. Firstly, because you can't animate without having groups. Secondly, because it makes moving your model around much easier. And thirdly, because when you have complex models, it's a lot easier to navigate your outline when everything is sorted neatly into groups. Now, you can't make groups from within the Animate page, so navigate to the Edit page and click on the folder icon. This will make this little folder appear. For this tutorial, I've made this handy dandy texture to show all the parts we'll split the model into, at least for now. We're going to split the body from each of the legs. So, while holding Shift, click on each of the parts of the body and then drag and drop them into the folder. Now rename the group to Body by right-clicking the folder and selecting Rename. Beautiful, or as we in New Zealand sometimes say, Scucks as. Don't worry, that's not a swear, it just means awesome. Go on, say it. Actually, don't if you're on a crowded bus or watching this at work or something. That'll just make you look possessed. We'll do that for each of the legs as well. Name them left leg and right leg respectively. Great. Next, let's put everything into one folder, called Kiwi. This is just good practice. Finally, let's make sure the pivot points of everything line up. So click on each of the leg groups and make sure that its pivot point is at the top of the leg, so it rotates around the top of the leg rather than the center or anywhere else. Now that we've put everything into their own folders, let's actually start animating. We'll go back to the Animate page, but now instead of individual cubes, you can see the 4 folders are all ready to go. Before we continue, it's always a good idea to extend the length of the animation to the desired length. You can do this by dragging the blue bar along the top of the timeline. The number refers to seconds, so for this first animation, let's only make it 1 second long. You'll see that if you press the play button now, nothing will happen. So let's make something happen. Animating anything consists of 2 parts: finding when you want an action to happen, and putting the model into the right position for that action. The Move, Resize, and Rotate tools are your friends, and they're in the same place that they are in the Edit page. Select the right leg first. Drag the playhead to the start of the animation and place down a rotation keyframe. Now when you start the animation, it'll always have the same rotation. Put down a keyframe at the end as well, so that the whole thing loops consistently. What we're going to do now is rotate the kiwi's leg forwards at the 0.25 second mark. Bring it back to the center at the 0.5 second mark, and then rotate it backwards at the 0.75 second mark. That probably sounded a bit confusing, but now when you press the play button, you can see the kiwi's foot is moving back and forth. Pretty scucks, eh? Let's do the left leg next. Now, no one puts down both feet at the same time when walking, unless you're an alien or something, we don't judge here. So make sure to alternate the left and right foot positions. So when the right foot is back, the left foot is forward, and vice versa. I'll give you a second to do that. Alright, here's my animation so far. The problem is, it's feeling a bit soulless at the moment. To fix that, I'll make it have a slight bob as it walks. Select the body folder, but this time instead of moving the rotation, let's move the position. Keyframe the start and end of the animation, and then make it go up and down until it just feels right. It'll take a bit of finessing, but in the end, you should have an animation that looks something like this. Kapai. The last step for this animation is making it loop. Right-click the animation and select the loop option on the loop mode. Now when you play it, it'll loop till the cows come home. Or cabbages, if you're vegetarian, I guess. Alright, that's the first animation done. Next, we're going to do a kiwi sniffing animation, because it needs to find food somehow. For this animation, let's make it loop from the start. So, select the loop option right from the beginning. We're also going to add a few more folders, one for its beak and one for each of its whiskers. Before we continue, let's break this animation into 3 parts. This will just make the whole process easier to understand, and easier to make. Firstly, let's make the beak extend and retract as it sniffs the air. Secondly, let's make the whiskers quiver. And thirdly, let's make the whole kiwi turn side to side slowly. Let's start by making the kiwi's beak sniff the air. For this, we'll use the scale setting. Just like the rotate and move tools, you want to add a keyframe and extend the beak a bit. Make a keyframe to the right and make it retract. For extra bounciness, you can make the beak retract so it's further back than when it started. Part 2, the whiskers. We're just going to make them rotate around the beak as it's sniffing, because kiwis have whiskers. Skuxaz. And finally, part 3, and this part is optional. It'll look a bit dead if it's standing still, so let's rotate the kiwi's body slightly so it looks like it's surveying the scenery. With all 3 parts done, you can now tweak the result until you have something that you like. Here's my one. Now, before we continue, I'd just like to say that if you've learned something today, or you're just enjoying the video, consider subscribing. It means a lot and tells me that you like this sort of content. Cheers! Alright, animation toru. That's 3 in Maori, by the way. Tahi rua toru. This animation is going to be a kiwi jumping animation. For this one, we want it to stay still at the end, so select hold on last frame under the loop mode. We're only going to split this animation into 2 parts. Firstly, getting the kiwi actually jumping, and secondly, making its legs splay out upon jumping and land together upon landing. I'm also going to introduce you to a new concept, or semi-new considering the animation industry has been kicking for longer than Germany and Russia, apparently? At least according to our AI overlords. Bing. Anyway, it's called Squash and Stretch, and it's basically like when a video game character stretches when it jumps and then flattens when it lands. This is basically utilizing the scale tool to a much bigger and substantial effect that you'll probably use more regularly. All we need to do here is to make it squash horizontally at the start and then stretch vertically when it jumps. After you have employed this technique, well, that's it. We have finished animating the kiwi. In fact, we've finished this kiwi in its entirety. I hope these skills will help you to become the best Blockbench artist and animator you can be. A skill set that is in increasingly high demand in niche YouTuber communities and basement dwellers. The next video to this series might be a while. I'm going to go back to some challenge videos and some Forgotten Land stuff. But if there's anything specific you'd like me to make a tutorial about, drop it in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I'll answer as many as I can. If you did enjoy, check out this playlist in the top right, with all my other Blockbench tutorial videos. Have a great day, and CountFrogg away!